Your first look at high school football scores and highlights from across the valley with Mo Carter and Hannah Oliveto. This is First Down Friday night on WZDX, sponsored by Northeast Alabama Community College and Bojangles Chicken and Biscuits.
The road to the Alabama Super 7 continues tonight with the Yellowhammer State in the second round with football action. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mo Carter, and of course, we've got 12 Tennessee Valley teams remaining in the postseason. Some of the teams will advance while others will go home. We will start things off over at Milton Frank Stadium tonight. Lee hosting the #1 team in Class 5A, and that's Briarwood Christian. And of course, Coach Tony Woods and company, they had a lot to prepare for this evening. We'll pick things up early in the first with Lee on offense. Quarterback Noah Watkins, he'll struggle as he is intercepted by Carson Donnelly, and Donnelly will have the Lions in very good field position. Now, a few plays later, the Lions get with their quarterback, J.R. Tranrino, and he punches it into the end zone for a touchdown. Briarwood up 7-0. Lee would get the ball back, but on fourth down, Noah Watkins' punt is blocked by Gabriel Russell. Michael Munanas, he would get credit for the recovery, and once again, the Lions have great field position as the coaching staff for Lee is like, come on, guys, we're not out of it just yet. It's Tranrino. Look at him just break all kind of lead defenders, stretches across the goal line for a touchdown. It's now 14-0, Briarwood Christian on top. Early in the second quarter, Lee still can't muster any offense, and there's a bot snap on the fourth down punt. Gabriel Russell makes another big play for the Lions. Briarwood Christian would dial up, guess who? J.R. Tranrino. Same play as he scored on the other two touchdowns, which was just the quarterback keeper as he scores right here. He puts Briarwood up 21-0 early in this game. Let's check out your final score, everyone, as Lee falls to the #1 team in Class 5A, 35-14. Congratulations to Coach Tony Woods and company on getting to the second round of the 5A playoffs. What about other teams in that region? We'll start off with Brooks. They went out to Etowah tonight. They weren't successful either. They ended up losing 42-21 out there to Etowah. And Jemison, the winners of the region, they fall to St. Clair County tonight. I'm guessing their offense got held in check. They fall by a final of 48-21. Man, what a crazy game out there in Class 3A. Let's check in with Colbert Heights and Weaver. Well, of course, Colbert Heights, they're 10-1 on the season. Weaver, they beat Plainview last week. Scoreless in the first. Weaver with the ball. Shamar Spinks goes around the left side, and then he is stripped by Riley Fuller. Colbert Heights knows what to do with this ball. It's called a scoop and score. So Corey Saint is taking his way all the way back. He gets knocked out around the 2-yard line. But on the very next play, here comes Dylan Chandler. He takes the rock and scores right up the middle. Wildcats go on top 7-0. Now, later in the first, here comes the trickery from the Wildcats. It's a wide receiver pass. We're going deep down the field. Evan Norton calls in the touchdown. That makes it 14-0 Colbert Heights. Second quarter now. Colbert Heights looking for more. Their quarterback, Kevin Shaw, decides, hey, I'm going to go ahead and just keep it. I can try to run out the defense on this one. He ends up picking up 50 yards on the long run. So Colbert Heights looking like they're in very, very great field position as we speak. So here's Shaw now on fourth and goal, actually. He rolls out and finds a man. Look at this great catch right here by Chandler as he catches it in between his legs. 21-0 Colbert Heights on top. But Weaver finally gets on the board when London Knight walks into the end zone. It was 21-14 at the break. In the second half, the Wildcats going back to the air for Colbert Heights. And once again, it's Shaw. He's got a man. It's wide open down the field. Chandler Willis hauls it in for another touchdown, 28-14 at that point. But let's give you a score update. Keep in mind what I just said, a score update. It is 35-34. Colbert Heights is down to Weaver in overtime. Once this game goes final, we will let you know in just a few minutes. All right, everyone, we got way more coming up right here on First Down Friday night, including letting you know about us being on social media at Mo Carter, WZDX, and at Hannah, WZDX. Send us a tweet. We might read it out later on air. Speaking of Hannah Oliveto, we decided to put her live out on location tonight for a very big game in Class 3A, and here she is to tell you all about it.
West Morgan and Sylvania, we're taking on each other tonight here at West Morgan. I'll have highlights and more coming up after the break.
Hey, it's Spirit of the Week time. We can't ever do a Spirit of the Week showcase without the lovely people at Bojangles. Of course, they've been doing a very great job feeding our staff all season long. So, the local band ensemble that is featured this week in Spirit of the Week is Jemison. Now, of course, they are under the direction of Reggie Pearson, a Huntsville native who was once the drum major at the former J.O. Johnson. Like the school, the band is in its second year of existence, and they've been busy showcasing their talents in parades like the Magic City Classic and even perform at the National Corvette Museum in Kentucky. Once again, it's Jemison, your Spirit of the Week winner. Congratulations to the Jaguar Band. Now, two teams with a lot of spirit squared off in Class 3A tonight down in Trinity. We sent the lovely Hannah Olavito out there to check out the big matchup between Sylvania and West Morgan. She joins us live now from Trinity.
West Morgan is having one of its best seasons in over a decade. Last week, the Rebels shut out Holy Pond to earn the team's first playoff win since 2008. Of course, that could all come to an end tonight against Sylvania. Now, these two teams met last year in the first round of the playoffs. The Rams won 42-6, so we have a rematch on our hands tonight. Let's get to the highlights. King, and he picks up a first down and then some before being taken down. A few plays later, Smith hands it off to Ethan Dover, and he runs it right into the end zone to put the Rams on the board first. Fans have a silly string party. West Morgan gets the ball but can't do anything with it, but the Rams can. In the second, Paul Griffin gets the ball and takes it in for the touchdown, and the Rams widen their lead to 14. Later, the Rebels are trying to make something happen when Gabe Paluzzo hands it off to Tyler McClung, but the Rams are all over him, and the ball comes out, and Dover scoops it up and takes it back the other way. And Sylvania capitalizes. Smith fakes the handoff and takes it into the end zone himself. The point after is no good, though, so the Rams' lead stays at 20 going into halftime. To 21 here at West Morgan. This is a big win for the Rams tonight. The last time they made it past the second round of the playoffs, it was 1995. I was able to catch up with both head coaches after the game. Here's what they had to say.
They want to win. They want to keep going. They want to win a state championship. And it's just a one-game season every week this week, and we just try to win one game.
Tonight wasn't our night. Sylvania had a lot to do with that. That's a really, really good football team. And but you can't say enough about these guys in this grade. 0-10 to second round and 10-2, and it's because of a lot of hard work and dedication from our guys. And very, very proud to be the coach at West Morgan.
So it is on to the quarterfinals for Sylvania. They will take on Randolph County next week, who beat Fultondale to advance. That will do it for me from West Morgan. I'll send it back to you in the studio, Mo.
It is time to take a break here on First Down Friday night, but when we return, we will talk about our First Down Friday night MVP, and we'll also check in with the Class 2A defending state champion Fyffe Red Devils. They were in action tonight against LaFayette. We got that coming up after the break.
Let's get back to the highlights on First Down Friday night on WZDX.
Welcome back, everyone. Of course, we told you about that Colbert Heights and Weaver football game, which went into overtime. Let's check out a final score now from it, as Colbert Heights goes into Weaver and ends up winning 36-35. So they will advance to the next round of the Class 3A playoffs. Congratulations to the Wildcats on that victory. Let's take a little break from all the action to tell you about our First Down Friday night MVP. In the first round battle, Jemison pitched a shutout against Corner, and the reigning First Down Friday night MVP played a major role on that side of the ball. Here's Hannah Olavito with the story.
Since winter, we've been working now. Coach been telling us to grind. We got to grind it out. That's what we've been doing, and we've been rewarded.
Kyle Davis has been making plays for Jemison all season, and last week he picked off a pass and recovered 2 fumbles that resulted in 3 touchdowns to help lead the Jaguars to a 44-0 win over Corner in the first round of the playoffs.
He's a 10th grade kid that, he practices the way he plays. He practices full speed every day. He approaches the game very seriously. So for him to have that big of a game, it wasn't a surprise, but I'm just proud of him. And, like I say, I think his teammates played well to give him an opportunity to make those plays.
It was exciting to know that we can go around another round with our seniors, so they won't be their last game. So I'm glad to go.
This is the Jaguars' first playoff win in the program's 2-year history, but Davis has his sights set on another goal.
This community haven't had a state championship in a long time, and to bring that back home, it means a lot.
Kyle Davis, your First Down Friday Night MVP. Hannah Olivito, WZDX Sports.
All right, congratulations to Kyle. And, of course, if you think you know of an athlete that's deserving of First Down Friday Night MVP award, just send us an email, First Down Friday Night MVP at RocketCityNow.com with the players' names, school, position, and stats from their last game, which will be the second round of the playoff. A winner will be announced next week right here on WZDX. Let's get back to the action, everybody. Class 2A's defending champion Fyffe. They were taking on LaFayette, and these two teams are very, very familiar with each other, and Fyffe dominated this one in the first half. Seth Benefield, the coach's son, takes the rock himself into the end zone for a score. Red Devils up 7-0. Now the Bulldogs trying to make something happen as their quarterback, Jalen McCurdy, looking for a man. He's looking for Jamarquez Gaines, but he is picked off by Chase Adams, and the Fyffe Red Devils are going back the other way. It only takes a few plays for Fyffe to get back on the scoreboard once again. Seth Benefield, this time he will toss it over to his good buddy Peyton Anderson, and he will take it all the way into the end zone, making it look so easy. Fyffe's on top 14-0. Now, after a turnover on downs, Benefield and company are going back to work once again. And this time he just says, you know what, let me just call my own number once again like I did on the first touchdown, making it look so easy, everyone. Fyffe on top, 21-0. Everybody down in Red Devil land is loving it, including the band members right there. The Bulldogs still showing some fight, though. McCurdy hands it off to Robert Houston. He will go long ways down the field. The deuce is on the loose, everybody. Slipping a couple of tackles. Still will not go down before eventually is knocked out around the 5-yard line, but not much to see after that. Let's check out your final, everyone, as Fyffe goes on to dominate this one. They win 56-6. They advance to the Class 2A quarterfinal. How about the number 1 team in Class 6A, Austin, facing Shades Valley tonight? The Mounties were actually up 7-0 early until the Black Bears respond. Here comes Antonio Robinson. You know, his neighborhood is the end zone, and he finds the end zone right there. That ties the ball game up at 7. All tied at 7 now. Q Mayers takes the toss, drops back. Hey, it's a halfback pass, everyone, and he's got Keandre Sanders for a touchdown. The Mounties go back on top, 14-7 over the number 1 team in Class 6A. Austin would tack on another score, tying it up at 14 until Desmond Trotter comes through with the answer, finding Trenton Thomas in stride. Thomas makes it away for a touchdown, 21-14. Shades Valley at that point, but the Austin Black Bears fight back in this one. Austin goes on to win 42-35. They will host Pinson Valley next week in the Class 6A quarterfinals. All right, let's take a look at the other team in Class 6A that's still in the playoffs. Muscle Shoals, they were at Oxford tonight. Oxford, always a very tough team. Muscle Shoals trailed 14-0 at the half. Now it's 21-0 in the third. Tanner Wade makes this awesome one-handed grab before he is tackled by a host of Hornets. Lat would set up this. Stephen Davis calling his own number, and he's into the end zone for a score. But at that point in time, they were still down, and then Oxford just adds to their lead. Gabriel Webb, 18-yard TD run. This will make it 27-7 at that point, and Oxford continues to pour it on. A TD pass this time from Abram Peoples to Brody Sire for a score. Final score down there tonight, it was Oxford 34 and Muscle Shoals 7. Muscle Shoals has been knocked out. Some other scores to tell you about. Hokes Bluff, they knock off Rogers 12-0, so the Pirates' undefeated season is over. Cherokee, they beat Lynn 28-7. Congratulations to them. They've got another score from around the way. It was Cherokee County, 4 points better than Wilson tonight. They go on to win 28-24. All right, we're heading to the final stretch of First Down Friday night, and then now it's time for some college action. I've got weekend previews and highlights from last night's JSU game, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
First Down Friday Night is sponsored in part by Bojangles' famous chicken and biscuits. First Down Friday Night on WZDX is back with more scores and highlights from across the valley.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time to switch up and get into some college football action. We'll actually have action that happened last night. Jacksonville State playing host to Tennessee State at Burgess Snow Stadium. Now, of course, Darius Jackson, the Gamecock defense, looked to keep the Tigers in check. And they did early on as quarterback Michael Hughes of Tennessee State steps back to pass, and he's picked off by Marlon Bridges. Watch Bridges. He does not want to go down. He zigs and zags all the way across the field. Eventually, he'll pick up a 30-yard gain on the return. That'll lead to a field goal. So now JSU up 3-0. Brian Horn runs the play action, throws a floater down the field to Austin Cummings. 45 yards later, he has a date with the end zone for a touchdown. Gamecocks up 10-0. Same score in the third. Rock Thomas, you know he's been a very special player for this football team. Watch him take the handoff, bursts up the middle, shows that 4.4 speed, and he is gone. But he pulls up as he gets into the end zone with a lower leg injury. No update on him as of yet. But Jacksonville State did go on to win 36-6 last night over Tennessee State. Here's Coach John Gross on the victory.
Winning never gets old, but it's good to see them that excited. They're so used to it. But celebration in the locker room was really good. I thought they had a good reason to. I thought we played well. Senior night, so it was good to see those seniors play, as well as we played. It really a dominating game. I mean, it's you hold somebody to, 15 yards rushing, and you rush it for 368. Good night. And,
the Alabama Crimson Tide is coming off of one of its toughest tests of the season, winning a close battle at Mississippi State. Now they can take a breather as they get ready for Mercer before one of their more difficult games of the season, which is Auburn next week. And if they win, they'll probably take on Georgia in the SEC Championship. Coach Nick Saban says he's more confident in his team being able to fight back in close games this weekend.
One of the things that we talked about before this last game was, can you thrive on hard? Knowing that you're going to be in difficult circumstances and you're going to have hard things happen, whether it's in life or in a competitive sport. Obviously, I was really proud of the way our team did that down the stretch in that particular game.
All right, moving on to the Auburn Tigers. Of course, they're coming off one of the biggest wins of this season when they knocked off #1 Georgia. Tomorrow, Gus Malzahn's team welcomes Louisiana Monroe to Jordan-Hare Stadium. The Warhawks have scored at least 45 points in half of their games this year, and Gus Malzahn, fully aware of that, he's had a special message for his team.
After a big win you've seen this year around the country, have a fall-off. We can't have a fall-off, and that's our challenge to our team, to keep our momentum going into the last game of the year and just keeping that championship urgency this week. And so that's my message to our team.
Tomorrow is senior day for the Alabama A&M Bulldogs. They'll take on Kentucky State, a team that's lost 5 of the last 6 games on the gridiron. Sending the seniors out with a victory on Saturday will be the perfect way to end the season for Coach James Spade's team. They want to erase those awful thoughts of what happened last week against Jackson State.
And our seniors have a chance to take something with them, for the rest of their lives, a win. And this football team will never be together again the way it is this week. And so that's enough right there to motivate those guys to play for their teammates.
All right, everyone, that is basically it for First Down Friday Night 2017. Of course, the road to the Super 7 will continue next week. We'll have highlights on WZDX News at 9. Congratulations to all the teams on what they did this past year. And I also want to just thank everyone who worked inside the building, on the camera and behind the camera and everywhere else for making this thing another successful stint through the years. Of course, Ann Oliveto, she's been my partner in crime all year. She did a great job tonight out there in Trinity. For Mo Carter and the rest of the WZDX gang, we hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks for tuning in for First Down Friday Night. We'll see you guys next year.